Hello, hello. Here we are back with Under the Sombrero, almost 15 episodes into this podcast, but I think we have something special here today, no?
That's right, Andrew. Something very, very special in Mexico.
That sounds like a pretty familiar voice. Who is that?
Hector, Andrew, don't you remember me?
Of course I do. I've known you for long enough. I know that voice and that laugh. It's an
That's good.
unforgettable voice. But in regards to this episode, I believe this special thing we're gonna talk about started in a place that you grew up in, well, at least a state.
That's right. Something that started several years ago in my state.
I'm sure you have some pretty good memories around this when you were growing up, no?
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm. Definitely be quite tasty, just to give a hint. But let's get into today's episode, no?
Okay, let's go.
Bringing you under the sombrero from the eyes of an American and a Mexican sharing a fresh perspective of Mexico. Hey Hector, how's it going?
Hi, Andrew. Very good. Very good. Thank you. I'm just working and enjoying life. How about you?
I'm kind of doing the same, honestly. I can't complain. Things have been going well here, and it's good to have you on another episode. It's been a few episodes since you've been on.
Yeah,
hmm
some some episodes or two or three or
hmm
maybe like a seven.
Something like that. Who's counting? That was a good
Yeah,
that was a good episode we had together about mole. I learned a few things as well.
yeah, you learn a lot about Molly,
hmm
or you need another lesson.
Maybe not in this episode. We could do a future one.
Okay.
I don't know if we'll have time for both topics in this one.
Okay, it's good to me. Sounds good to me.
Very good. What's this tasty thing that maybe a lot of Mexicans know about, but maybe not all like foreigners know about? What is this? What is this food?
Okay, well, this food is a kind of food that is very special in Mexico.
hmm
And I think it's a unique uh, because it's not a kind of food that only served in one city or in one state. It serves in all the country
Mm.
in many ways or in many forms, and it's really really tasty one, and I think
Mm.
you'll love it.
It's good on a lot of things. Not only you haven't even mentioned what it is yet.
No, no,
You're just kind of teasing it. You don't want to say.
yeah,
You're just like,
I'm gonna give you the pleasure to say what we are talking about.
oh, you want me to say it?
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
tacos al pastor,
Yeah, that's right.
known to maybe the birthplace where you were born.
Yeah, these tacos were maybe prepared for the first time in Mexico, in the country,
hmm
in my state, in Puebla, around the 1930s.
hmm
Uh,
Back in the
by
30s, eh?
Yeah, back in the 30s
Okay.
or earlier. I don't know,
hmm
but history tell us that it is in 1930s, and they the Lebanese immigrants bring us this kind of meat or meal
hmm
because they used to prepare it uh,
mm
there as I don't know how can I call it, like a favorite plate.
You don't want to say the word. Come on, you can say it. Give it a shot. I even broke it down a little bit.
No, it's
Come
like a
on.
shawarma.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
I think it's
shawarma.
shawarma.
Shawarma. It's like a kind of meal there, but the original recipe is with lamb,
hmm
and here in Mexico we use pork,
Mm.
and it's very tasty.
I can't disagree with that. It is quite tasty. Do you know why? Like, why did Mexico change from lamb to pork? Was there any significance behind it?
No, I think we have a more we use this kind of animal. Like we use pork for our meals.
Uh-huh.
We or we use the lamb in special occasions, and if we make some kind of tacos, we use pork or we use cow, but we don't use a lot this kind of meat of lamb.
Hmm. That's interesting. That's kind of gotten changed from this.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
of course, as a Mexican, we we need to put the Mexican touch in this recipe.
What yeah. Can you familiarize everybody with the Mexican touch? El toque
Okay,
mexicano.
el toque mexicano is exactly el toque mexicano. We,
Uh-huh.
we put it a part of Mexico in this recipe.
Mhm.
Yeah, we put it different species, and of course we put it
Spices.
spices.
Uh-huh.
We put it chili, of
Of
course.
course.
I don't think the Lebanese immigrants think put it in the shawarma chili.
Because why not? Just give it a little extra flavor, no?
maybe,
Maybe.
but I think they don't use chili in their recipes.
Hmm.
Don't you think?
I mean, from like I'm not really well versed in this and like Lebanese food and everything, but based on the appearance, because Mexico's used like the same cooking method of cooking this meat. If you could explain like the cooking method that is used for tacos al pastor
Oh,
and
sure.
shawarma.
Yeah, it's very special. Okay,
Uh-huh.
uh, we put the meat in a kind of a sword or thin tube,
Hmm.
and when this meat accumulate, it forms a kind of cylinder,
Uh-huh.
and as the meat is cut by the taquero,
Uh-huh.
it forms a figure that we call a trompo.
Hmm.
Well, a trompo it's a traditional Mexican toy,
Hmm.
but for those who don't know it, it will be something similar to an inverted pyramid.
Hmm.
You know,
Uh-huh.
with the base at the top.
Uh-huh. We
Yeah.
hey, we also had those toys growing up. They were spinning tops. I grew up with them too.
Oh, really?
Don't worry, yeah.
Okay.
I had lots of them. I had wooden ones. There was even ones that I don't know how you describe it. You had like you had this like not kind of like a string,
Yeah.
and then you could pull it real hard and it would spin a lot. And it was like the coolest thing. That was my favorite one. And I was probably,
I
I don't
know,
know.
but
Uh-huh.
here in Mexico we use like a cord,
Okay. Like, uh-huh. Okay.
like a cord around the trompo,
Uh-huh.
and we throw it in the floor.
Hmm.
Yeah, we can make an episode about these uh, traditional Mexican toys.
Okay. I like it. Maybe something about canicas too.
Yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
one of them.
We played
So
marbles too. Uh-huh.
so this is the way that the meat is cooked. We put it similar like shawarma
Hmm.
in this form, in this way. I don't know how we call it, but we call it trompo.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you can find it small ones and huge ones. Believe me,
Hmm.
huge ones.
Like how big are we talking?
Yeah.
Like how much do you think it weighs if you were to
Uh,
guess?
maybe the weight in kilos or pounds.
Either or
In
works.
okay, in kilos, like 100 kilos.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it's like 200 pounds,
Uh-huh. Oh
more
my
or less.
goodness.
Yeah,
Oh,
or you can find little ones, maybe with 2 or 3 kilos
mm, still quite a bit of meat. But
in small taquerias.
okay.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this 200 pounds of meat just cooking in the restaurant or the in Mexico we call it taqueria. I can't imagine like just like trying to put that on, having like maybe some help from coworkers putting this thing up so it's standing in place and everything, no?
Yeah, it's like an art to put the meat in this, like in this sort, and then you need to carry on to the place, and
Oh,
the meat need to cook.
mhm.
So it's a real hard work, believe me.
It's a good art and a good exercise, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's a very good exercise for the guys who need to carry this all this meat.
That is not that is true. That is true. And what was that joke we were talking about in relation to Trompo de Pastor? I think you know it, no? I think it's a good one to share.
uh, which one, Andrew? Please remind me this.
It happens to hopefully it won't happen to us when we get older, but sometimes there's some people, some particularly some men that look in the shape of a trompo de pastor. There's some memes or memes, as Mexico knows, about this.
Okay, yeah, well, we call it tacos al pastor. It's like shepherd tacos. And we made a lot of jokes or a lot of memes about this because it's like a game of words about pastor. It's like a shepherd, you know,
Mm. What do you mean by that? What is it?
a shepherd.
Can you type it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I know the word or not.
Uh,
Let's see. Let's see. Oh, a shepherd. Uh-huh.
shepherd. Uh
Okay. I didn't have that in mind.
huh. You
Interesting.
know. So
No.
remind me,
Uh-huh.
remind me the joke.
You know the joke better than I do.
Really?
It's, I think so, no? Like, I'm gonna get it wrong, but here we go. So the Trompo de Pastor gets like skinnier and skinnier towards the bottom and bigger in like the base, I guess you could say. Or
Yeah.
no, I said that backwards, no?
Yeah. The backwards.
Uh-huh. It's bigger at the bottom and it gets skinnier towards the top.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's like yeah. I remember that. Now I remember.
Okay, okay.
It's like a man who makes gym but only works with the arms. It's a like a task from Looney Tunes. Yeah, it's
Tasmanian devil?
yeah, Tasmanian Devil.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
gosh.
right. Yeah, it looks like a man when this kind of man that works. They only make this work with their arms in the gym,
Mhm.
but they don't work doesn't work their legs, and they have these skinny legs and a big arms. So
And big belly.
yeah, big belly. That's right.
The panzone.
El panzón.
Oh my. Very well. What are like some things like you were telling me like the Mexican touch to put like chili and like the flavoring of the meat? What else is like the true Mexican touch to tacos al pesto?
Okay, obviously, the Lebanese immigrants don't use tortilla.
Okay.
First of all, we use tortilla.
Uh-huh.
Then we put it onion
Okay.
and cilantro.
Hmm.
We can also put uh, piña or pineapple.
Uh-huh.
And the very special thing about tacos el pastor
Hmm.
is la salsa. We call it la salsa.
Hmm.
I know you call it sausage, but we call
Salsas.
it
Uh-huh.
salsa.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
Same. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so uh, this salsa that we use, it's based in chipotle.
Mm.
So each taqueria use a different recipe for this salsa, and the salsa makes the difference between a good or a bad taco. You
Mm.
know, even if they prepare the meat in the different way, uh, the meat it's the same. It's pork,
Mm.
but if you go to a taqueria and they don't have a good salsa, you are gonna eat a very bad taco. Believe
Mm.
me.
All right, I'm curious. And so let's create like a little scenario. Let's
Okay.
say since you have some experiences now in Mexico City and obviously growing up in the home of tacos al pastor, what have you seen like the difference to be between Puebla and Mexico City with tacos al pastor?
Okay. First of all,
Uh-huh.
uh, salsa it's very traditional in Puebla.
Okay.
Here in Mexico, each taqueria use a different salsa, obviously with the base of chipotle, but they
Okay.
use a different kind of salsa or with a different flavor, and they offers you not only the original one, they offers you three or more different salsas. So the chilangos eat the tacos al pastor with a lot of different salsas.
Mhm.
So in Puebla, we use the original one.
Mhm.
So if you go to a taqueria and see them order a taco,
Mhm.
they only give you one kind of salsa,
Okay.
no more, just one kind of salsa,
Sounds
the
very
original
traditional.
one. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's very traditional. It's the same for tacos árabes. It's the same.
Mm.
They
Okay.
only offers you one kind of salsa, the original one.
What do you think about that?
I think you need to taste the the tacos or any food in the original way
Mm.
because it's traditional.
Mhm.
If you taste any kind of meal with a lot of changes, maybe you can taste or you can feel the the real experience, the real flavor or the original flavor. So
Mhm.
that's for me. It's so important to keep this original way to prepare the meals.
Do you think a lot of, I'm just curious, this is just gonna be your opinion, but do you think like a lot of people know like the original way, like in Mexico City, as you mentioned, people who live in Mexico City are chilangos, but you say it so naturally without thinking.
I know.
I
Well,
love it.
uh,
Uh-huh. Do you
I
think
think
they know the difference or like the original
no, no,
or
no. I don't think they know that they know the difference
hmm,
because here in Mexico you can find a taqueria each corner, and
sure.
you know that, and every taqueria has her own way to prepare the meal, to
They're
prepare the thank
their
you,
own way.
they own way
Unless
to
they're all owned by ladies. You tell me, is there some secret?
yeah, I know. Uh, so each taqueria have their own flavor, their
Mhm.
own salsa, their own way to prepare the meat. So and you can prove this if you came to Mexico and eat one taco
Uh-huh.
in three or four or five different taquerias.
Uh-huh.
You can taste and you can feel the difference.
Mm.
So that's why uh, I don't believe that they know the original way to prepare tacos al pastor.
Mm. Do you remember where's the best place you've had like tacos al pastor that had the best salsa? Do you remember that?
Okay, I love one place
Okay,
in my in my state, obviously in my town,
sure.
Atlixco.
Uh-huh.
uh, this
I love the
this
pride.
I know. This
Represent.
place, I don't know, it's still there or was called El Dorado.
Uh-huh.
It is a small taqueria with a very, very special salsa
Mhm.
and a special flavor in the meat.
Mhm.
Obviously, I try a lot of taquerias in Puebla,
Mhm.
um, eh, but everyone is uh, or everyone has the original flavor because there's no a lot of difference between uh, taquerias. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
There's not a lot of difference, but here in Mexico, there's a lot of difference between taquerias.
Mhm.
Each taqueria has their own, I don't know, flavor way to prepare the meat. I don't know.
Mhm.
It's you can taste, you can feel the difference. So I think if you ask me, where's the best place that
The
you
only
try?
place you're gonna tell me.
Yeah, it is there in Atlixco. That
Okay.
place, that small taqueria.
Mhm. That's fair enough. When was the last time do you think you went there for tacos?
Uh, I don't know, maybe oof,
Uh-huh.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if they still there
Uh-huh.
because the pandemic, but
Okay.
I hope they do because I'm going to Atlisco this weekend, so I'm going to try tacos again.
Okay. You'll have to give us an update and maybe send us a picture to
Ah,
see these. I think it would be good if
believe me, I
it's
will. I will.
I'll give you a reminder so you don't forget.
Please.
And what I'm curious, we didn't mention, what do you usually drink? Is there a typical drink you are drinking with tacos al pastor or
Okay, I think it depends a lot of the the person of
okay.
each one of us. Uh, some people prefer um, water
Uh-huh.
or or Jamaica,
Uh-huh.
agua de Jamaica for healthy reasons.
Okay.
Other prefers horchata, you
Uh-huh.
know horchata.
Mm-hmm.
But as I told you before, uh, we or I am more traditional,
Mm-hmm.
or more traditional ones prefer to accompany a good taco with Coke. Obviously.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. That's fair. That's fair. Are there some days you're having agua de Jamaica, which is basically just flavored water with Jamaica?
Well, I have this. Well, it's not a problem. It's like custom uh, that I have that I need to drink soda with spicy and grease food.
Uh-huh.
That's why I don't drink Jamaica when I eat tacos. But Jamaica, it's a good companion for tacos too.
Mm. And horchata, would you ever have a horchata with tacos al pastor or
No,
not for you?
never,
No.
never, no, not for me. Or chata, no.
What would you have? Do you like it or would you have it with something else?
I like horchata, but I prefer talking about the tacos. I prefer to drink Jamaica or Coke.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I like it. Very well. There's one other thing I want to mention. I know this isn't in regards to tacos, and I can
Okay.
barely remember a time that I had tacos al pastor. I remember it, but I don't remember like the flavor and everything. But one thing I do remember is uh tortas de pastor.
Okay.
Oh my, having those in Mexico City, I haven't had them in Puebla as samitas, which is
Yeah,
like the version
more,
of Puebla
yeah,
of
the version,
tortas.
the traditional way of Puebla. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, I think that this tortas or semitas, it's for the people who doesn't like or tortilla or
Mhm.
prefer bread uh,
Uh-huh.
instead tortilla. So and it's a good variety of tacos or it's a different way to eat this meat. Uh, and it's a good way, believe me.
Mhm.
It's especially with semita because you know semita is like I don't know how I call this. It's like very special bread.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
it's prepared in a different way than the torta.
Uh-huh.
So
Agree.
and the taste is different. So when you put a meat in this bread, it's delicious. And you need to try uh, uh, árabe meat or carne árabe
Mhm.
in semita. It's
Okay.
more delicious than pastor.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
believe me.
You're leaving this toward the end of the episode to tell me, huh? Just to kind of
I'm
entice
sorry.
everybody.
I'm sorry. I need to tell you this. You need to try it, believe me.
No, I'm definitely there with you because I've had many semitas now in Puebla and also here in the States. And I would compare the flavor of semitas here very similar from a restaurant from Puebla that I enjoy here a lot. And I don't know, for people that haven't had semitas, even if you have it with like chicken, avocado, Oaxaca cheese, chipotles, you still need to try it here because I think it's still a really good experience to try. So if you're in the States, don't hesitate to try it if you find like a good restaurant that you can trust that is from Puebla. Definitely
Okay,
recommend. Definitely
that's good.
recommend.
You can find.
Your Poblano hermanos are doing well here.
Yeah. Thanks, bro. They are real poblanos, believe me.
Definitely, definitely. Is there anything you'd like to add to wrap up the episode that you would like to share with anybody that hasn't tried any of these?
Well, if you come anytime soon, Mexico, you need to try tacos al pastor. If you came to Mexico, especially Mexico City or Puebla, and you don't try tacos al pastor,
Uh-huh.
it's going to be like you don't came to Mexico.
Would it be also like not trying tacos árabes or chili en nogada in Puebla?
Oh, okay. Well, chili nogada, it's a special meat, and we have the opportunity to talk about this meal later.
Uh-huh.
But it's more difficult to find a chile nogada in all year because it's for a season. You know
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
it's, especially 3 months. But you can find tacos al pastor any time of the year.
Hmm.
So
There's no excuses, right? Is what you're
yeah,
trying
there's
to
no
say.
excuses. If you came on winter, summer, fall, you can find tacos al pastor.
This is good. This is good to hear. I
Yeah.
like that. I think that's really good advice and everything. And I think like you're making me hungry even though we're coming up on midnight. And I don't have the luxury of looking down my street and seeing a taqueria, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had that lucky. If I
Uh,
want, I go to street, walk like 2 steps, and find a good taqueria.
that's actually a closing question I have. How late are some of these taquerias open till?
uh,
Pretty
how
late,
late?
no?
Yeah, like okay. There's some taquerias that open from I don't know 4 to 12.
Oh my god. 4 in the
but
morning?
no, 4 in the
4
afternoon.
in okay, okay.
Yeah, to 12 or 1
Uh-huh.
in the morning. But there are other ones that open for 10, 11 at night to 4, 5 in the morning.
That's
So
crazy.
there's no excuses.
Uh-huh.
There's no excuses. You can find tacos al pastor any time in the day.
You really can't got a craving for tacos al pastor at 3 a.m., go for it, right?
Yeah.
Probably not the most healthy thing to do, but it's a one-time
No,
experience, I
believe me
guess.
when I told you that it's a there's a how do you say the research, there's some scientific studies.
Uh-huh.
They tell us that an order of tacos al pastor, it's more healthy than a energy bar. That's true. That's true.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm gonna
I'm
have
gonna
to do
share
some
you.
research on. Yeah, share me the
Yeah, yeah.
link.
I'm
I'm
gonna
really
share you
curious.
this
Is
because
it
it's so interesting.
is it a credible source?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a blog that you recently wrote or
No,
something?
it
Okay,
came
okay.
from a university.
All right, fair enough. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it. Unam or
No,
no?
Utlap.
Okay. Very good, Hector. I really enjoyed this episode and learning a bit more about tacos al pastor with you.
Me too. It's a pleasure for me.
It's always a pleasure. Well, until next time, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Hector from Mexico.
Of course. Goodbye, everyone.